Happy Wednesday, everyone. Welcome to the Legacy Shield Consultants YouTube channel. My name is Ignitia Collins. I'm the Executive Director of Legacy Shield Insurance Consultants. We are a boutique insurance agency focused on all things insurance with a niche in long-term care and pet insurance. Today, this video is going to be covering pet insurance. What it is, if you've been on the fence about it, if you're considering it, thinking about it, and perhaps why you should really give it some thought. So usually sometimes things have to happen to us, right, before we actually take action. And so I've been meaning to do a video on pet insurance because I'm a pet owner. And then I had an issue that showed up where I was able to actually use my policy that I have in place for my pet Hudson. So, pet insurance. We are going to be covering the pros, and I'd say one con. I think the pros outweigh the con. And I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but let's give the con first. The con to pet insurance that most people probably would take issue with or be concerned about is the fact that it is a reimbursement policy, a claims-made policy. So essentially you make a claim first, then you get reimbursed. So usually you have to put the money up front outright if you have to go to the doctor. And that's minus your deductible or whatever your co-insurance actually is. You could have a $250, $500 deductible. Usually you will have to meet that. There's usually an annual deductible of about that amount, or it could be less, could be more. It really depends on the way your policy is designed. But essentially, you can have a $250, $500 deductible that comes off first. That's your responsibility. So that is money that the insurance company is not going to pay. Then after that deductible is met is when your actual coverage will kick in. So again, it's a reimbursement policy. Usually you can go anywhere from a 70% reimbursement, an 80% reimbursement, or a 90% reimbursement. The things that are going to drive the cost for pet insurance are going to be first, it's going to be the age of your pet when you get the insurance. Just like life insurance, there's a cost to waiting. So if you want to get pet insurance for your pet, the sooner, the better. For one, again, it's going to be cheaper, so go ahead and lock in those rates. However, over time, you could expect that the cost of insurance is going to be slightly going up. I would imagine you're going to see little increments because I know when I got my policy for my pet years back, it started off as one amount. And as years went by, it went up a couple of dollars, nothing major. I probably say over the past 5-6 years, and maybe went up by $5, probably $5 tops. So nothing crazy, nothing astronomical that you're like, wait a minute, I was paying this premium and now all of a sudden I'm paying this premium. Nothing like that, nothing drastic. So again, 70, 80, 90% reimbursement. I would say if you had the chance, you get the 90% reimbursement because that gives you the most bang for your buck. Why not, right? If you're spending $2,000, right, for a visit for a sick pet, like I recently just did, wouldn't you want to get 90% of the cost back? And you're able to get that 90% of the cost back within a couple of days. Literally, all they ask for is a itemized invoice. So if you took your dog to the vet or some clinic or maybe for some kind of emergency situation, you get an itemized invoice, and that is the invoice that you need to present to your insurance carrier, and voila, you get reimbursed. So I would say, to me, in my personal opinion, and having actually experienced it, I think it is best to get your pet some insurance because I would be pissed if I'm spending over $2,000 for my pet and then I have no safety net no reimbursement. I'm not getting anything back. That sets you back, and it's like, okay, now where are you going to get that additional money from? You're out of it. So I'm going to say, obviously, not just because I sell pet insurance, I'm saying that it gives you peace of mind the same way peace of mind is going to be given to your family and your loved ones when you've prepared properly. When it is in your last days, and if you do have to go, your family doesn't have to worry about financial ruin or having to lose things that they've worked so hard for because there is no funds, or worse, having to do a GoFundMe or go and collect money for people because they didn't put any insurance in place. Okay. I have a couple of providers that I sell insurance with, and I just want to give you, for example, the way the policies are structured. This specific provider is my provider with Rainwalk, and what they cover: cancer, surgery, IV fluids and medications, tooth extractions, hospitalization, MRI and x-rays, allergy treatment, end-of-life expenses, and many more accidents or illnesses. Now, wouldn't you want to have something like this on your side? Or have that confidence that you got something in place for your little loved one, your furry one? They are family. They're a family member. You wouldn't let your children walk around without insurance, so why would you let your pets walk around without insurance? They get sick just like us, guys. They get the same conditions, if not worse. They need some insurance. There's me, that's Legacy Shield Pets, and so the deductible, so just for example, on this one is basically saying their most popular plan is it includes a $500 deductible and an 80% reimbursement with a $15,000 annual maximum limit. So what that means is that this policy will pay up to $15,000 for any coverages during the year that the pet is covered, that annual year. So let's just say 25 to 26, $15,000 is going to be the maximum that it covers. For this specific policy, they have an 80% reimbursement and a $500 deductible. Again, with that $500 deductible, that has to be paid. That's something we absorb. That's our cost as policy owners. The insurance carrier is not responsible for that. You can pick reimbursement policies, like I told you, anywhere from 70%, 80%, or 90%. And they have annual limits that go all the way up to $20,000. So all this stuff is fully customizable. You can customize the coverage to meet your pet's needs. You know your pet's health better than anyone else. If they have allergies or things that they have to end up running to the doctor back and forth with, you want to make sure you have that insurance in place. Another thing that's really unique about it is that you can actually see a virtual vet before you actually go to the doctor. So if you have some current concerns about your pet and your pet is showing some symptoms, you can actually do a telehealth appointment with an actual vet before you actually even go in. And I believe these services are round the clock, 24-hour. They're service providers. So you get to meet a real veterinarian, which is cool. So again, much more pros than there are cons. And if you don't have pet insurance, what are you waiting for? You need to get it. You need to get it. And if you're interested in getting it with me, you can go to my website, which is www.legacyshieldconsultants.com, and go to the book appointment page. Select appointment, book it. I do 30-minute appointments. I cover pet insurance. I cover commercial insurance, life insurance, final expense, long-term care. You name it, I got it. Okay? But I am passionate about my pet. I love pets. And I know you love your pet. And so you want to do what's right for them. Do what's best for them. It is better to have something than to have absolutely nothing, because something's going to show up with the pet. It always happens. You don't want to be in a situation where things get too costly, or you're not in a position to actually help your pet. That would suck, and you would feel really guilty for it. So my suggestion is, let's take it into consideration. I would get the 90% plan because it gives you the most reimbursement back. Of course, it would depends on what you're willing to spend, right? Because I would imagine that for 70% reimbursement, it's going to be cheaper. 90% being the higher one, you're probably going to pay more. At the end of the day, when it comes down to your pet having a situation, it's your decision. Do you want 70% back? Do you want 80% back? Or would you want 90% back? That's pretty much the way it goes. So having said that, this again is Legacy Shield Consultants YouTube channel. Where we talk everything insurance here. And today this video was about pet insurance, and I would say you should get pet insurance. Okay? You should absolutely, positively get pet insurance. And this is just an introduction to this circumstance with my pet. There's more to this story, but I wanted to make sure I get this out to anybody who was sitting on a fence considering getting pet insurance. Do it. Your pet will thank you for it. You will feel good about it, and you'll be doing the right thing. All right? So if you guys find any value from this video, please share it. You can comment, you can like it, comment on the in the comment section, because that is where I'm able to get an understanding of who's watching the video, what the questions are like, what the feedback is like on the content. That's really helpful for me, and it also operates as a guide for me to know maybe the things that I should cover, that I didn't cover, and maybe the things that I may want to cover in the future. All right, so again, if you find value from this, like, share, subscribe, and thank you for tuning in and listening to me talk about pet insurance with Legacy Shield Insurance. Thank you guys. Take care. Till the next time. Bye.